just didn't understand it.
Correct.
You know, I really love my mom. You know, she, even now to this day, she still supports me. She still does her little mom talks.
There's a kid who spent his teenage years locked in a cramped bedroom, screaming at video games while doing the most bizarre things on camera. People thought he'd lost his mind. Nobody could have predicted that this same chaotic teenager would transform into a global phenomenon, with fans literally going insane just to catch a glimpse of him. This is the story of Darren Watkins Jr., better known to the world as iShowSpeed. And trust me when I say the journey to where he stands today was anything but simple. Cincinnati, Ohio. January the 21st, 2005. This is where it all began for a boy who would eventually become one of the most watched streamers on the planet. But before the fame, before the millions of subscribers, before the worldwide tours, there was just a kid navigating an incredibly unstable childhood. His parents divorced when he was young, forcing him to constantly shuffle between his mother's house and his father's place. There was no stability, no permanent home, just an endless cycle of splitting time between two separate lives and the neighborhood where he grew up. Violence wasn't occasional, it was daily. Fights, chaos, constant disturbances. This was his normal. Despite the turbulence at home, Speed found solace in two places: sports and video games. He was talented at both football and basketball, good enough that he's admitted in interviews if YouTube hadn't worked out, he'd probably be chasing a professional sports career right now. But there was something about gaming that hit differently for him. NBA 2K, Fortnite, these weren't just games, they were escapes, and streamers like Ninja became his inspiration. Here was someone making a living doing exactly what Speed loved. So at 11 or 12 years old, he approached his mother with a proposition that probably sounded insane. "Mom, I want to be a streamer." Her reaction was predictable. She laughed it off completely. To her, YouTube wasn't a career, it was a distraction. And honestly, she wasn't entirely wrong to be skeptical. Building a career on social media is incredibly risky, especially when you're talking about a kid who should be focused on school and building a traditional future. The odds of success are microscopic, and the lifestyle you see from successful creators online, most of it's manufactured. The reality is far harsher than the highlight reels suggest. But Speed had made his decision. Whether his mother supported him or not, he was doing this. March 2016, he created his channel. Then absolutely nothing happened for almost 2 years. He finally uploaded his first video in December 2017, a simple NBA 2K gameplay. Throughout 2018, he tried streaming Fortnite, jumping on the massive wave that game was riding internationally. But here's the brutal truth: nobody watched. There were thousands of creators doing the exact same thing, and Speed was just another face in an oversaturated market. He even tried switching to Twitch, hoping a different platform might change his luck. It didn't. Eventually, exhausted and discouraged, he quit entirely. And this is where most stories end. This is the point where countless aspiring creators give up, convinced they don't have what it takes. But not Speed. When the pandemic hit in 2020 and everyone was trapped inside their homes, a friend suggested he give streaming one more shot, so he did. They streamed together for a while, but eventually his friend dropped out. Speed kept going. Even when only 1 or 2 people were watching, he kept streaming. That obsession, that refusal to quit, it consumed everything else. Homework went incomplete. He started missing classes. His grades tanked, and his mother noticed. Of course she noticed. Here's her 15-year-old son ignoring his education to scream at video games on the internet. The confrontation was inevitable. She gave him an ultimatum: quit streaming or leave her house. And Speed, he chose to leave. He moved in with his father, who was more supportive of this unconventional path. But even then, the grind was brutal. He was slowly building an audience, creeping from 2,000 to 5,000 subscribers, but success still felt impossibly far away. Then something happened that nearly destroyed everything before it really began. One of his clips went viral on World Star Hip Hop, but not in a good way. People were mocking him, insulting him, and his parents saw it, and his mother was furious, convinced he was humiliating himself and their family publicly. She demanded he return home and gave him strict rules: no streaming past 11 at night, no excessive yelling, essentially trying to contain the chaos that made his content unique. Their relationship was strained, to put it mildly. But surprisingly, moving back home coincided with explosive growth. Between March and May 2021, he jumped from 500,000 to 3 million subscribers. But 2021 was the year everything changed for Speed. He released a music video that currently has over 230 million views. He collaborated with major creators, spreading his unique chaotic energy to broader audiences. His subscriber count exploded. By the end of 2021, he'd surpassed 4 million subscribers. He was becoming famous, but only in certain countries. He wasn't globally recognized yet. That was about to change in the most unexpected way possible. February 2022, Speed sitting in front of his camera when someone sends him a super chat for £1.79, roughly 22 rupees. The message is simple: what football team do you support? It's a completely random question, but Speed's response was 3 words that would alter the trajectory of his entire life: Cristiano Ronaldo. He had no idea those 3 words would become viral phenomenon. The clip spread everywhere. Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, every platform on earth, and Speed recognized the opportunity immediately. He leaned into it completely. His entire brand became centered around Ronaldo. He'd talk Messi openly. During the World Cup, he streamed himself desperately wanting France to win, specifically because Argentina had Messi. Every reaction went viral. His audience saw him as the most genuine Ronaldo fan alive, someone who'd do absolutely anything for his idol. He even created a song dedicated to Ronaldo. Meeting Ronaldo became his dream, his ultimate goal. And when someone pranked him with a fake Ronaldo, his devastated reaction showed everyone exactly how much this meant to him. The obsession brought massive attention. Ronaldo's own son watched Speed's content, which eventually led to the golden moment when Speed finally met his hero. The footage of that meeting is legendary. Speed completely loses control, screaming, crying, begging for pictures. The moment went nuclear online and cemented Speed's status as a global personality. By 2024, he had millions of subscribers, but he wanted more than just gaming content. He wanted to experience the world and bring his fans along for the ride. His European tour was unprecedented. 8 countries in 1 month. Every stop featured something unique, something memorable. In Germany, he did outrageous stunts. In Albania, he met personally with the Prime Minister. In Poland, massive crowds gathered wherever he appeared. His subscriber count exploded during this tour, gaining millions in mere growth that takes most creators years to achieve. Speed accomplished in days, but that level of fame brought serious risks. In Norway, he got trapped inside a shop because so many fans mobbed the entrance that police couldn't control the crowd. When he finally tried to leave, fans grabbed at him desperately. Someone ripped his hair out and tried selling it on eBay. It was shocking even for Speed, comparable to the insanity surrounding major pop stars. His Southeast Asia tour took things even further. In the Philippines, fans waited at airports and swarmed roads. In Thailand, he drove a tuk live on stream and crashed it spectacularly. In Cambodia, he hit 30 million subscribers and celebrated in the middle of the street while traffic stopped. Then came Jakarta, Indonesia, where his live stream reached 1 million concurrent viewers, breaking records for any English language YouTuber. He'd officially become the most watched streamer globally. His current American tour continues the madness. He's ridden bulls and gotten thrown off. Fans watch him sleep. He's met with YouTube's CEO, hung out with MrBeast, reunited with family, all while pulling off increasingly risky stunts for content. His dedication is absolute, sometimes dangerously so. Throughout this journey, his mother remained a complicated figure in his story. Viewers criticized her harshly for how she treated him during streams, but the reality was more nuanced. She stood by him when someone called 911 falsely claiming Speed was hurting family members, leading to his brief arrest. She wasn't the villain people made her out to be. She was a mother trying to ensure her son had stability while he pursued something she didn't understand. Speed never publicly criticized his mother despite their conflicts. Instead, he bought her a house with his earnings, showing that love was always there beneath the tension. As his success grew and he won major awards, she proudly supported him, their relationship finally finding balance. Speed credits one fan's super chat as his turning point the moment everything changed. He invited that fan, Bradley, onto his stream just to say thank you. He supports his younger brother extensively, not wanting him to face the struggles Speed endured. His team, his cameramen, his bodyguards, they're all dedicated people helping him maintain this incredible momentum. iShowSpeed's story teaches something fundamental. When you're genuinely passionate about something, when you refuse to quit despite everyone doubting you, the sky becomes your only limit. He wanted to be remembered as the greatest creator who ever lived. Honestly, he might have already achieved that. He's built a legacy as one of the greatest streamers in history. Sure, he's controversial. Not everyone likes him, but you absolutely cannot ignore him, and that ultimately is what makes him unforgettable.